Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 3 of the ANZ spring season. My name is Night Geo, and I'm casting alongside Blank. We've seen game 1 go down. We've seen game 2 go down. And can you believe it? We're up to game 3 between these two powerhouses, that is Rinse and Delete and the people you hate. I think Rinse and Delete are pretty much hating these people right now, forcing them to game 3. But you know what? What's all said and done, we've got ourselves a great matchup, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I did not expect the team of the people you hate to come out swinging like that and take this series to game number 3. Well, was I proven wrong? We're about to jump into that game straight away because we don't want to keep you guys waiting. We know how much you hate waiting, but we'll go straight into it and we'll see what game number 3 has to offer, really.
Yeah, it's going to be on Dragonshire, so kind of a map that does involve macro play. It does focus on towards potentially there's the Hail Mary play down in the bottom lane where you secure the Giants on your side, then the Night Camp, and then the opponent's Giant for just that triple Merc Camp push. But White Mane being banned away, it's been the consistent ban by Rinse and Delete. They just do not want to deal with that at all. But will Kerrigan be a contested pick? We've seen both teams run it, both teams succeed with it. Both taking a win on this against each other, so interesting there. But Tyrande also being banned away.
Yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's such a common map that's picked in most levels of play in terms of HGC, the ANZ one, the Open Division. It's played on rotation in Open Division, but it's a really highly picked map in ANZ anyway. For competitive Heroes of the Storm. Dragonshire being one of those maps where you have to kind of juggle the team fight, the solo lane, the rotations between mid and bot. A lot of pressure is put on that bottom lane, being one of the most important in the game, but then trying to capture the objective at the same time. So a lot of macro coming into it, a lot of micro coming into it, and just pretty much let's see who pulls out the better draft this game. We saw the Kerrigan banned this time from the people you hate. They don't want to deal with that. Taranda's gone again, and White Mane Mal'Ganis from the side of Rinse and Delete yet again. Nothing out of the ordinary for those bans. And they've picked up Phoenix first, George.
Well, Ratzer did play Phoenix back on the in the first map. Played in the solo lane, taking on Ural, which was good old Misery, taken up in that lane. Now it's a Haka and Diablo being picked up. This is Deadpool's third chance at a Diablo. Game 1 had some really... He's going to APOC build, and that's been kind of deadly. We saw that in the previous game. It will lock up multiple members, so Rinse and Delete should be aware of this. If he's running APOC again, they need to be aware of when that ultimate gets popped off to get the heck out of dodge. Otherwise, they're going to be just chain CC'd against non-stop. But Malfurion wasn't banned. Gets picked up, and now Zeratul also locking up. That's a big kind of dangerous pick if people you hate got to be careful
of. Yeah, Zeratul, Malfurion. I mean, they've done the same thing. Sorry, the people you hate have done the same thing pretty much all of the drafts. They picked up 2 frontliners in that first rotation, whether it was the Diablo. They had the Urel in the first game, Artanis, Diablo in that last one. That's 3 maps in a row they picked Diablo, and Deadpool has been fantastic on that Diablo. I'm not going to lie, I've seen some fantastic picks from him, managing to keep his souls up most of the time. A couple of overextensions, but all in all, pretty solid Diablo play. They've banned out the ETC though, trying to remove that from the hero pool of Rinse and Delete. We saw them pick up Stitches with the Malfurion in the first game with the Phoenix. Are they going to do it again?
It is possible. He does command a kind of pay attention to me. I will hold this point and I can be a nuisance. If he can land a right hook on the right target. He was able to hook Diablo, and that's how they were able to, I guess, prevent Deadpool's, damage effect, or like the way he was able to alter the battle just by simply hooking him on towards the routes that was Malfurion being placing down. But Reyna and Lucio being picked up. This is Miss Renfate's second play on that Lucio. The Sound Bearers were coming in quite clutch, but instead they're looking for the Johanna and Leoric.
Yeah, so they'll chuck Leoric up in that solo lane and have Phoenix in that rotation get a little bit more damage. Zeratul probably going to stick them in the roam. But Leoric versus the Harker in that top lane is going to be a fun matchup. I think Leoric wins that. if they really wanted to, they could probably stick, from the people you hate, they could stick Reyna up to take on the Leoric in the solo lane, but then Rinse and Delete will probably just switch out the Phoenix. So either way, the solo lane is going to be a fun battle to have. The rest of the rotation is going to be a 3-man, whichever way it works out to be, from Rinse and Delete, with Zeratul doing the roaming and ganking, and a lovely couple of heroes there to gank, with Li Ming being picked up again from the people you hate.
It's a interesting kind of play what we have here. So you have speaking of the solo lane, Dahak and Leoric, you're right. It's a tough one. Both have the ability to, while dealing with the minions and clearing the minions, they can deal damage at the same time. It's what makes them such an annoying, dangerous solo laner. Because Leoric, swing, clears the minions, deals damage, he sustains, gets his little kind of claw onto you. That's how he keeps up in the lane. Meanwhile, Dahaka, you know how Dahaka works. He will just clear the minions with his little storm. He has essence to sustain. So it's kind of whoever gets the advantage over the other. And it's just going to be just a tank slapping warfest up in the top lane. So no real potential unless do come in and rotations occur. But we're hopping into game number 3, Blanky. Here we go. On the blue side, we have Rinse and Delete boys. It's going to be Ratsa on the Leoric, Shrifty on the Johanna, Alex on Z playing that Phoenix, and finally JD Star on his coveted Malfurion. Muno on the red team, who do we got?
On the red side, we have Reyna being played by Unishu, Bobgoat on the Li Ming, Misery on Dahaka, Renface on her favorite Lucio, and Deadpool again on that Diablo, looking to do some serious damage. Are we going to have the mid-fight skirmish again? We're going to have a cheeky hook being looked for by the Stitches. Is he going to get the... Oh, I'm liking this rotation from the people you hate. They've all gone underneath. Going to camp in this little bush here.
Drag by Misery is up and available. They can do something, but they're not really revealing much. It's a smart kind of decision. I do this a lot with Dahaka. I would actually stick around for the level 1 team fight, because you can always brush stalk back up to top lane to not miss any soak at all. And if you do get that secure level 1 kill, because you got the drag with that, it can be quite dangerous. But unfortunately, it didn't pan out, didn't secure anything. Misery has rotated up, forced to borrow away, and Ratsa will be pushing up the top lane. You know, in the bottom, Swifty can Iron Shield the way to safety. Deadpool not getting the right stun engages. Alex is working on Yanushu. And it's just a little kind of back and forth, trying to dominate and show each other's claws yet again. Who is the real alpha of this map? But nonetheless, Rinse and Delete, rotating quickly, securing them waves, and that's what you want.
Yeah, Misery's taking it a little bit harder in that top lane, facing off against Leoric. Leoric will most of the time win that trade, but Alex needs to be roaming a little bit more, find out what's going on in regard to getting this camp. Renface and Unishu getting some work on their Siege Giants, while the team on Rinse and Delete doing the same thing on their side. As a Zeratul player myself, I like to be... I can let 2 people get that camp. You don't need 3 people getting that camp. There's soak in the mid lane you can get. There's the ability to scout out the enemy team as well, find out what they're doing. And in this instance, you've got a little bit of engage coming down the bottom lane with Diablo and 4 members of Rinse and Delete.
Those roots coming out by JD Star are quite dangerous and deadly. Deadpool just gets locked up for so long that on the opposite team, they have potential to blow him up with the Mav and Alex. They're running those kind of bursty play from Zeratul, meets the sustained damage into a potential surprise burst that is Phoenix. They do grab themselves the bottom little shrine. Top shrine, they're still in the favor of Misery, and they're still duking out as offlaners do nonetheless in the sustained warfare that never seems to end. But rotation, I think this might be a long phase until we finally see that Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a massive tanky hero like Joanna. Well, in the meantime, Alex is going ham on that Li Ming. And they've got 4. They've committed 4 to this bottom lane to hold the objective. They've got the point. The Harker's probably not going to win this trade up in the top lane. She's out of mana. Rats is just going ham, and he's got the ability to self-heal, but she's just holding on to that point, and Phoenix can just keep poking mid until until the rest of his team cap the bottom.
Misery has to back away. Misery needs to life tap, but doesn't, so he's forced to actually recall. Has Brush Stalker to come back into that top lane, but that would be a wasted cooldown, really. You kind of want to use that to either gank to get the numbers advantage, or at least once you secured objectives to quickly rotate up and then apply more pressure. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, there's going to be a double man route by the player of JD Star, and Deadpool's going to fall secured by JD Star, picking himself up that dude's deep roots talents level 4 just for the bigger root channel. So, well played. That's a tank down, and that is going to at least give them the advantage in that bottom lane, rotating towards middle.
Yeah, you got Ratcha in the top lane, taking a lot of damage there from the towers. Just going a little bit ham, trying to get some more damage onto Misery, but yeah. Oh, no stitches. What? Sorry, I just saw that I said stitches earlier. There is no stitches hook to be had. They've got Joanna, not stitches. Why did I think they had stitches?
Because Malfurion, game 1, there was a stitches. You just dream. You're envisioning a stitches.
I'm thinking there should be a stitches.
It would be nice, but in the meanwhile, there is a fight happening in towards that middle lane. Alex is delaying Misery's channel, so is Star. They're doing quite a bit of job. This does allow Ratsa in the top lane to resecure that top shrine to prevent any other potential capture by the side of the people you hate. So Rinse and Delete playing calculated, taking it slow. They're rotating, if anything, out-rotating. Speaking of the Alex, I decided to come down to join the fight that is swiftly dealing between Miss Renface and Bobgo. But here's also Unishu with another rotation as well. And that's what's happening. They're working on camps. JD Star's already on towards the Giants yet again. Alex is there to help out. Meanwhile, Mav, the middle lane. Ratsa, top lane, but that's Misery and Ratsa. They just like to duke it out. So far, slow game, but it's recently coming out ahead, Blake.
Yeah, they've got a minor XP advantage at the moment. 1 kill in the game so far, only the 1. Unlike all the other games where we've seen multiple kills by this point in the game. We're 5 minutes in already. Both teams picking up their Siege Giants, and it looks like JD Star sitting down here to recap this point. And potentially, depending on how they play it, could pick up the DK.
Well, Mav did his best to zone out Unishu. He's getting the channel now, but Unishu with the last final tick gets a nice auto attack to interrupt. Mav, though, is trying to get the kill. Oh, gets pushed aside, penetrating round, knocks him off as Misery as in the top lane. He's contesting this point, able to prevent again another circumstance, and that's what's happening. Anytime someone's trying to channel, there's another person interrupting it in some way, and it's just a mind game. It's a chess game. There's Dragon Shrine. But in chess,
Alex.
there is no battle warfare as Alex up onto Bobgoat, doesn't secure the kill though, as thanks to the peel that is Deadpool.
Yeah, Misery's really low, almost got taken out by Ratsa there. Mav in the middle lane has done a fantastic job at A, holding the point, and B, keeping all the enemies at bay while he's doing his channel. A lot of damage coming down this bottom lane though.
Ooh, Renface had to be very careful. Alex went a bit ham over the wall, but does not secure the kill, so that's going to be support as Renface sustains yet again. Unishu rotated bot lane. Now they've got the advantage on towards this shrine. Will cap it for themselves, but they need to be careful because guess who's about to hit level 10? And that is Rinse and Delete. And when that happens, look for Deep Engage.
Do you think we're getting a... I was going to say, were we going to get a Void Prism, or are we getting Might of the Narazim? We've gone for Might of the Narazim. It's a lot of burst damage that can come out from Azeratul with this talent. And now that Heroic's picked up, this is where Rinse and Delete need to be taking that fight. But Heroic's not far behind, have been picked up now from the side of the people you hate. And it's 3v3 little skirmish in the bottom lane while all the solos go at it.
It kind of happens. Swifty gets engaged by Deadpool, but Swifty's taking a bit of damage. Here comes Alex. He's up onto the backline trying to blow up Miss Renface. Did use the Knight of the Narazim, but he's not going to survive. In fact, he falls to Renface. How about that? You kill me, tough luck, son. I'll take you out instead. That's what's happened, and that's going to be Alex down. But back at Evil at XP, still no Dragon Knight, unfortunately. Blank. It's looking long, but also no real, I guess, structural advantage either.
I'm actually intrigued as to how well. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I thought that we were going to get the first DK of the game there, but no, we've got a massive interrupt coming in from our Phoenix Planet Cracker. No salvo on this one. Rats is taking a lot of damage, but he's still alive. Not for long though.
He falls down to Deadpool. Misery is now just giving Ratsa some bit of easy reduced death time sustained for himself, getting clawed on. But still, no Dragon Shrine been secured. There's no Dragon Knight coming out for either team, but when it does come out, it's going to be big as Misery is in a place of misery. Here comes Bobgo for the assistance. Can they do something? Here comes also the cavalry, that is Unishu. Onto Ratsa. He's down, taking about up to 60% of his health, but will back away. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, another skirmish is happening, and that's just what's happening with this map. It's just skirmish after skirmish after skirmish,
George,
but no Dragon Knight.
This is the most boring team fight ever. It's a tank and a healer versus a tank and a healer in the bottom lane. But no, Bobgo is almost down. Alex manages to jump in and get that cheeky pick, big rotation down from Mav as well. So it's 4v2 in this bottom lane now that poor Mav has fallen to the ground. Deadpool and Miss Renfacer, they're not going anywhere. Diablo's got full souls. Lucio can speed boost away. It looks like this is probably Rinse and Delete's best chance at picking up this DK right now.
Unless Deadpool has something to say, engages onto Swifty. Also interrupts as Alex and JD Star. Renface and Unishu are onto the shrine again to deny any potential capture. And this is what's happening. They walk off, someone walks out, else walks in. And it's just going to happen again and again. They have to look for something else. Unless Alex does manage to secure kill. There comes an Apex with faculty. Is now forcing Deadpool to stay onto Roots as Swifty's taking a lot of damage. He has to be so careful. Unfortunately, does fall. And that's going to be the main take. The rest of Risk and Delete are backing off. This does allow the people you hate to secure the shrine. But meanwhile, on the top lane, Misery has done it. He is able to secure the kill onto Ratsa. That's going to be no one to interrupt unless the Planet Cracker. It's off cool. Mav, he pops it. He's trying to deny. Can the rest of the team interrupt it any more longer? But Unishu for the channel, JD Star being the hero. That is Malfurion. So does Alex.
Oh, Alex going in.
Oh my goodness, they just
Is
not
it worth
stopping.
it? Is this worth it, boys? Is it really worth it for the DK? Oh, wow. Alex, they all did their best. They tried to stall, but it's just now staggered deaths. We almost lost JD Star to a 1v3 trying to stall that. Alex ended up losing his life for it. The DK, first DK of the game, George, is finally being picked up at 10 minutes and 36 seconds, and they're just running it down mid now.
Yeah, they're not wasting any second. They're trying to get as much structural advantage as possible because it took so long to even break the walls. Meanwhile, Ratsa was in the back, gets himself in a tomb. Here comes a sound barrier. The Rinse and Delete are just looking for a team fight as they try to chim away at this Dragon Knight down to 30% health. 30 seconds left. Walk focusing on towards those middle keep walls. Taking down a turret. That's going to be one down. Looking for the wall. Can he get the second? Down to 15 health, 14%. Have to back away. It's only 20 seconds left. But that's still, nonetheless, a great push for a first Dragon Knight.
Yeah, well, I mean, normally the first Dragon Knight will get a couple of front gates down, maybe a couple of towers as well, get a little damage onto a fort, but at 10 minutes, almost at level 11 minutes into the game, the Dragon's going to be doing a lot more damage. Here comes another team fight, though.
And Alex jumps on the Unishu, but as unfortunately gets blown up himself. Swifty is in the middle of pain, gets blown up as well, so that's two members down. For Rinse and Delete, oh boy, this is starting to not look good. People you hate are coming out strong as Bobgo and co rotate down, get themselves to the bottom night camp. Should allow to apply pressure as the rest of Rinse and Delete secure themselves giants to at least offset that. People you hate are coming out swinging big time.
Yeah, it's been a very stalematey sort of game. We've had the ring around the rosy between the top and the bottom shrine as they trade off who's capping what. We've had the interrupted mid, recapped bottom. It's just been an arm wrestle this entire game. First DK went over to the side of people you hate, and now they've just got full confidence. Diablo's got full souls. 5-man with 2 camps pushing down the bottom. Joanna wants to walk in. We don't care. We've got level 16. I'm just going to start shooting into her face with my gun, says Reyna. And it's just finally got the edge that they needed from the people you hate, and it looks like
this is just looking such a big fight. They're not able to take themselves a fort. They dropped it down to half out. They did take fountains to allow, at least in terms of a prolonged sustain, to work in the favor of the people you hate, because you know what? They can always go back and tap, whereas Winston do not. And that's what's happened. It's just this long, prolonged fight, little skirmishes over shrines. Now starting to see those big team fights as we hit into the later level 17 for the side of people you hate, and finally 16 being picked up by Rinse and Delete. Equal talent here though, and that's to note as the next shrine activates Blank. But in this moment, it seems like there's something missing from Rinse and Delete.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be really toxic here right now and say that I think it's the Zeratul. I don't like the build. I really don't. We'll talk about it after this team fight, which is going very heavily into the favor of the people you hate. Every single member right now of Rinse and Delete has fallen to the ground, except for Leoric, who wasn't even there, and Swifty on that Joanna, who just pops her D, walks away and goes, nah, you guys can all die. But no, I'm looking at the build from the Zeratul. He's gone with your normal Q build, which is fine. But then he's taken teleport to Singularity Spike at level 7 instead of I would normally take Wormhole myself. And at with the team comp they're up against, I probably would have taken, instead of Mending Strikes at 13, the Spell Shield. As Ratsa falls again, it looks like it's going to be a massive snowball from here. DK's finally gone over to the side of the people you hate, and I'm not liking the extra damage to the Singularity Spike. Especially when he's jumping in like that and doing a lot of damage, the empowered Q, your empowered Void Slash, it gets just so much value, especially with Might of the Narazim. You can pretty much go in there, Q, R, Q, Q. It's ridiculous the amount of damage you can get off with it, especially if you're taking that Void Slash talent at level 7 and level 4 and 1. So I think that might have a little bit to do with it, but I think that not taking anything away from the people you hate, they've played fantastically this entire game. Their macro's been fantastic, their rotations have been great, their team fighting has been on point, and once they got the advantage, they've just pushed it, and now they've got level 20 and a keep down for their troubles.
If they want to, they can easily turn and fight again. APOC is available, so are the rest of the ultimates on the side of people you hate, and you raise a fair point. I think Zeratul's focusing on trying to go for that single damage blow-up build. And it's just not panning out because Sound Barrier will come up with a heal, a sustained shield, and the rest are just able for the peel. Good route though, is able to secure that giant camp, but here comes Mav, he gets locked up, Chain 6, he gets blown up, not able to walk away to safety as Alex tries to go in, looking for something, but that's what we're talking about. He went for the AoE damage with the single target blow-up build. It didn't work. Miss Renface is the only one at the lowest health, but she's able to keep everybody up alive. 2 members down.
They can probably end here.
Yep, that's what they're aiming for. This push the aggressive with 100 soul stacked Deadpool Diablo. And they're doing it. JD Star gets a Twilight Dream. He only silences 2 members. Rasta's still not up in order to be the tank line for his team. So isn't Phoenix. They're trying. Shield is up, but it's taking quite a lot of damage. Misery down to half health. Alex in the back line looking for something. There's a sound barrier popped up for the shielding, and the rest of the team, they're defending. They're able to force them away as Misery is forced to brush off to safety, abandoning his teammates, but only losing 2% of their core. That's kind of a well defense played by Rinse and Delete.
Yeah, very well defended. I mean, the death cooldowns weren't too huge at that time. Sorry, I'm a massive Diablo nerd, and stuff like that. There is definitely better ways to be playing it. I'm going to stop talking about that though. We're talking about the game. The people you hate have got a massive advantage right now. They've got level 20. They've got a keep down. They've got a camp pushing down that bottom lane as well. Dahaka's already in the top lane capping that shrine. They could easily cap this DK and end the game. It looks like they're going to get a camp instead. Interesting choice, but if it works, it works. Putting more pressure on that bottom lane, why not? Rinse and Delete really need to be careful here because they still haven't got level 10. Death cooldowns are really, really long at this point in the game. JD Star, as you can now see, is also dead. Big. Sorry.
Alex tried to go for a fight, and you're not wrong. It's 18 versus 20. The Storm talent choices by the side of the people you hate, they're just so monumentally stronger than Rinse and Delete. Able to secure 2 deaths for themselves straight away. Mav Now being engaged on by Deadpool. The rest of the people you hate are just starting to push down bottom lane because guess what? There's 2 Merc camps that did secure earlier and now to assist them. And there's no Shrewsbury. There is no JD Star. There is no Alex. All there is Mab and Ratsa, and they're trying their best to defend, clinging on to the last moments left as Dragon Knight has also been secured by his little Misery, and that's going to be all she wrote as people you hate taking it to Rinse and Fleet in his 3rd game, bouncing back from game 1, going 2-3. What a well-fought match by the people you hate.
Wow. Rinse and Delete, we saw them take it right up to multiple units in game number 1 of their game against them last week, and I honestly thought they could take it. I thought this game was in the bag. I thought this whole series was in the bag. I thought that we'd be done and we'd be screaming the next series by now, but no. People you hate have gone and proved me wrong. They've pulled everything out of their hat, and they've taken it to game 3, winning the best of 3 series against Rinse and Delete, and they've gone up to the next stage. So they're going to be taking on the winner of... No, they're going to be taking on Nobody. Not Nobody as in nobody, but they're taking on the team Nobody. That's Moops and his boys, and that'll be up very, very soon. Oh, George, wow, I am lost for words right now.
Well, how can you be? It's all mine. That was a great 3 matches. Well fought by both teams. They really duked it out to the very end. That 3rd one took so long to finally the Dragon Knight was secured, but that just goes to show the little plays that were happening. You can see how it's slow and boring, but what really happening was tactical. It was 2 teams trying to find the little advantages in order to capitalize, and eventually it was just the people you hate who found the one that worked for them. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a quick break, but when we come back, don't go anywhere. We have another best of 3 to come up, and that is going to be the people you hate taking on Nobody. Oh, that's going to be a good one. We'll see you soon.